I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
We're living in a time we're going to meet Yahweh Shai. You're going to meet him face to face, which is proof also that we have to be changed. We can't meet the Lord like this. He's going to change you, he's going to crown you, and he's going to toast with you. Sometimes when Akim are among each other, we'll do little small toasts. Brothers may be like La Yashrala, holding up cups. But imagine the Lord himself hosting it, man. And we join in. And I was reading something else, and pretty much they said in order to have what they call a loyal toast, you will use wine. That's the beverage of choice. And once again, our Lord, he's coming back. And we're going to see him with all that power, man. But he's going to extend that power to you.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with God. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same, in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. But we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body.
And once again, when our Lord returns, he's going to wield that power to you elect as well. Once again, he's going to change you, he's going to crown you, and he's going to have a toast with you. A kingly toast, which will basically be a celebration for victory over the beast, victory over this system, victory over Edom Rome coming back, and Edom Rome's mark, which will be that Karag. So we're going to celebrate with our Lord Yahweh Shai, and honestly, there is no telling what all he has in store for us.
Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rukakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of the GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and their sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into with this lesson, dealing with the physician, which is Yahweh Shai, all right, which are going to cut it off a long disease. And this long disease is Esau Edom, and the Lord has allowed, the devil, to have free range in the earth, okay, and prosper in wickedness, okay. And the devil, he's pushed, mass deceptions, all right, throughout the earth as if, he had good intentions. He moves as if his rulership is based off good intentions towards humanity. Okay, as if he's just this, this beacon of morality. He's a standard of honor and integrity. Okay, and he pushes himself, because he exhausts himself as if he's just this innovative, okay, superior, race of people, in the earth. Oh, this nigga, okay, this nigga has brought, death, all right, confusion, okay, oppression. You see, the literal destruction of the earth, nature, animals, okay, plant life, animal, waters. This man is literally destroying the planet Earth. Okay, the only culture he brings to the earth is rebellion against the Most High. That's the culture that this man brings to the earth. Okay, so this man is the long disease in whom the Lord will allow to rule. Okay, for an amount of time before he was judged. Okay, and within this man's rulership, towards the end of his rulership, he will begin to be called out for what he is. Okay, matter of fact, okay, let's go here. This Rock 10 and 10. It said, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow will die. Okay, so the physician is Yahweh Shai, and he's coming to cut off the long disease Esau Edom. The earth is at dis-ease under this man's rulership. Okay, suicides at all time. I hear it is the earth was created to be a paradise, but this man creates such a wicked and oppressive atmosphere in the earth, okay, that people take themselves out. Okay, most people are miserable. Okay, he creates an economy to where you can barely afford to exist. And it only gets worse, man. It went from one income, being enough to support a family, then two incomes, and then into two incomes plus credit. Okay, now it's two, three, four incomes within one house plus credit is maxed out. All right, and you still can barely afford to exist, man. Okay, and this man intentionally does these things. Okay, but then he jumps on stage. Okay, he makes a speech like he has something, like like all he does is help, telling other nations, what they should do with their people, telling other people, what he tell, he told the people I ran, help is on the way. Like, nigga, who have you helped? This nigga told the Iranian people, look, help is on the way. Nigga, you don't help nobody. You don't help your own people. The only people that benefits in this system is a small percentage of Edomites, man. Okay? And this kingdom was founded on pure wickedness, man. This Edomite empire of today is headed by this beast system, America, NATO, and the EU was founded on pure wickedness, man. It never been right. Okay? It didn't just get corrupt, 10, 20, a few decades. No, it's been wicked, man. That's who Esau is. His wickedness goes back to the garden, man. Okay? This devil ain't just start being corrupting. You see? His wickedness goes back to the garden, man. This devil's been the problem, man. Okay? And whenever this nigga has any type of freedom or authority, man, this nigga becomes a disease to the earth. Okay? Let's go through the scriptures. Let's go here. What was the matter of fact, let's stay in the Apocrypha real quick. Because what was the legacy, okay, of the Greeks? Okay, and then this devil, he'll teach you that civilization started with the Greeks. Okay, they parade this nigga Alexander the Greek as if he was, okay, just this prolific world figure. And this nigga was a mope. All right, the people that this man praises in this society and names, libraries and schools and cities, and these need to be complete moles and completely anti-Messiah, man. Okay, witches and warlocks, Mount Rushmore, the people that's on the money, man, all of them are wicked, man. This is a wicked people, okay? And the Lord has it to where the earth is calling this man out, okay? So when you go here, um, this is Maccabees 1:1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, and the Macedonian, which you can trace Alexander back to Agag, man. In order for this being his people, all right, because Haman was a Macedonian, all right, and Haman was a descendant of Agag, and Agag was the king of Amalek, okay. So you go into the Greeks, the ruling class of the Greeks, man, they was Amalekites, man. And what is their legacy? It says, who came out of the land of Shittim and had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, and reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and many had Salakia and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Okay, and this was, that leopard, that was promised to come into power. Okay, so this is one of the beasts in Daniel 7th chapter. Okay, that will come into power. Okay, in Daniel 7th chapter, Daniel 8. Okay, that he goat, that would defeat the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, and it was the Greeks under, all right, the banner of Alexander. You see, it says that he went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up, which is his mind. Okay? And these devils, whenever they come in authority, they get proud. Okay? They don't reverence the Most High. It's not in them to reverence the Most High. Okay? When these devils, are allowed to conquer the earth, okay, they immediately get proud. And it says, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived, all right, that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So that Alexander's kingdom was split into 4 kingdoms. It became 4 dynasties under, all right, these 4 generals. Okay, as you go into the Ptolemies, the Seleucids, the Sander, all right, and Lacedaemonians. Okay, and his kingdom was split up in 4 ways. But this is Esau's first empire. Okay, that he ruled over other nations, man. Okay, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bear rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, this is the legacy of Esau, man. Evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, when you go into the time of the Romans, what happened? Wickedness was multiplied in the earth. Lewdness, sexual immorality, self-worship. Okay, all type of anti-Messiah, just straight wickedness, man. The worship of wealth, the worship of status, the worship of self. You see, slaughter. Might makes right. If you're stronger than you, your strength justifies you, man. That was a Roman way, and these Edomites of the day, they move the same way. Okay, if they're stronger than you, then whatever they do to you is justified, man. Okay, goes back to the Spanish Inquisition, the doctrine of discovery. Okay, when you go into those wicked decrees, those them devils saying, well, look, if we can conquer you, whatever we do to you is righteous and justified. Okay, and they did that all with a Bible in their hand with their false Christianity, because a major part of the devils, okay, Christianity, Okay, a major part of this devil's Christianity was it's like a major part of Esau's deception was his version of Christianity. Okay, his interpretation of the Bible, which was completely wicked. Okay, had nothing to do with the true doctrine of the Bible. All right, all it did was push Edomite superiority, and that's why he did so much iconoclasm. Okay, and put his face on the true images of the people of the Bible, the Israelites, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the prophets. Okay, because he just used the Bible as a tool to push Edomite supremacy, man, to justify his wickedness, man, and make it legitimate. You see, the Bible, he just used the Bible as a tool, okay, to legitimize his wickedness, man. This nigga was never right. He never believed in the Bible. Okay? So we're gonna go because this is a video from the brother, the beloved elder brother down here, Elder Shaquat. All right, he has a video he just recently put. Let's see, can I find it real quick? You know, you got this Jake. That's a few clips. I want to play a few clips from it, you know. But you Edomites are being called out, man. You know, and like the video says, a growing sentiment. This is the brother. All right, channel GMS dedication. Okay, subscribe and be edified. Okay, brothers constantly, doing videos and putting together compilations. All right, exposing this goddamn devil, man. Okay, and if you don't have, a hatred for these Edomites, man, the Lord not dealing with you, man. The Lord is perfecting our hatred, and part of this captivity for us to have a hatred for wickedness, man. And Esau, he embodies wickedness, man. Okay, a part of this captivity will for us to develop a perfect hatred for wickedness, man, so we can be the perfect rulers, the perfect balanced rulers with Yahweh Shai, man. And Esau, Edom, he embodies wickedness, man. He embodies everything that we're supposed to hate as the sons of God, man. You know, and we don't tap dance around. You see, we hate what the Lord hate, man. You know, and we'll get into that. But let's listen to this devil. And these devils have some type of nerve to say the shit that they say. You know, when you hear this devil here speak, and then Jake is cutting his ass too. Okay, so let's play this.
Why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here? Young 10-year-old, very intelligent looking young lady, a black young lady who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly. I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives, white, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
That she comes from a family.
And these Edomites feel like we owe them. You know, and like as a part of this this white Christian nationalist doctrine, as if Edomites, okay, enhance the life of everyone. Yeah, they great, robbed and murdered the planet Earth, but the people that they done that to have better lives now. The descendants of those people are able to enjoy the innovative white society, because every other society was prehistoric. Okay, it was underdeveloped. No one was doing nothing with the resources. We had to come and take over so we can innovate the earth. All right. So now today you have, all right, a cell phone, a laptop. Okay. Wingstop. Okay. Based on the goodness of the so-called white man. Okay. And people should be grateful to exist in the white society. Okay. In the Edomite ran society. All right. It's because of our scientists and which a lot of these inventions to make everyday life easier come from Jake, man. And we've been, we've done videos and played documentaries going into that. All the inventions that make life easier come from Jake, man. If you took away all Jake inventions, you just snapped your fingers and took away all the inventions of Jake and the Israelite woman. The Israelite woman invented a lot of things too. What they'll call black women inventors. The Israelite woman invented a lot of things too. If you snapped your fingers and took away all those inventions, man. Okay, if you snapped your fingers and you took away all those inventions in the moment, man, the earth would be terrible, man. Okay? Cars will start running, planes will start flying. Okay, the cell phone that was invented by Jake down here in Jackson, we always get into that, man. But this devil, because he's able to mass produce it and own the companies that mass produce it and are able to innovate these things. Okay, he can put a white face, a white mascot on all these inventions. He makes it seem like these Edomites, like Tesla, like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, and it's just been Edomites like that in the background, just creating everything for people to enjoy. All right, the earth and making things convenient, man. It's a goddamn lot, man. Okay, this nigga is the problem of the planet Earth, and when you do take those inventions, what do? You create death. Okay, you create death with all the inventions that are created, man. When you have a scientific breakthrough, you figure out, how can I incorporate death into this, man? Okay? How can I destroy? How can I unalive? How can I depopulate? Okay? Well, these Edomites move as if the earth owe them. Everybody owe these niggas, man. And it's played out. Their narrative is played out, man. So lucky for the rent. But let's go back to the beginning. I'm gonna let it play. Okay.
Why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here? Young 10-year-old, very intelligent looking young lady, a black young lady who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly. I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives, white, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Man, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father's a retired military service member also, who served this nation well with great dignity.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman. What white people need to understand.
Just white people.
Yes, please. Let me explain. That national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key, a slave owner.
Oh, here we go.
Who demonized and hated black slaves and black people. Go research the third verse when he says, "There's no refuge in this country for the hireling or the slave. Both should be turmoil to the grave."
How's her parents
This
do it?
is a man
Are they successful?
that promised turmoil for black people to the
So
grave. Would you ask Jewish children
parents
if
are
they have
successful.
pledged to a German anthem that disrespects Jewish people?
they're
No, you
living
would
in
not.
Germany,
No,
sure.
you would not.
Well, sure.
That disrespects Jewish people?
Then
No,
why?
you would not.
You certainly can kneel down. In America, you have the right to do that.
So I say to that young girl, you stand strong, stand up, and stand for what you believe in. And to all of those who are too coward to do it, don't get in that young girl's with others like
What would you like her,
support that young
what
girl.
would you like her to say to the men and women who have fought for this country like I ran into over the weekend? The black men and women who fought for this country and some who gave their
And
lives.
ask the black men and women who served America in its military, like in the Independence War, we helped America get it and we were still slaves after. Ask those in Vietnam who gave their war
Why
on
didn't you stay
Vietnam
in
battlefields,
2016?
but then came back and was
Why
called
didn't you stay in
niggas
2016?
in their own country. We have fought in America's war and we've never been given the justice and the due process of everybody else in this nation.
Then
So
why don't you
stand up, that's right.
move to a different country? Why are you staying here if you don't
Man,
like it?
let me tell you why. Because
Why?
the country belongs to Indians. You white folks stole it from them, raped and robbed their people. This not your country. You all came over here and stole it and beat the hell out of them.
I was
So this
born,
not your country.
it was my country.
You all need to go home.
If you're
You
not
all need to go back where
interested,
you came
if
from.
you don't like it, why don't you
Excuse
pack
me?
up and go?
Let the Indians decide who should pack up and go, and I guarantee you black folks will stay, and you all will be on the first damn boat leaving here. So don't try that.
So right. And you goddamn right. Because if it was up to the Gad, Reuben, and the northern tribes, okay, because Jake and Gad always got along. You know, Jake and the Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, they got along over here, man. You know, in certain places in Mississippi where, you know, Gad and Jake, you know, Gad and Southern Kingdom, you know, they coexist, man. They get along fine. All right. The only problem they have was Edomites. You know, I'm listening to stories from both sides. You know, and they say they always got along, and it was always a problem with you goddamn Edomites, man. Okay, and you're always telling someone to go home, nigga. You came and stole, nigga. You came from somewhere else. These Edomites act like they grew out of the grass of America, man. Like these niggas just materialized in America, man. Okay, you the goddamn thief of the earth, man. You see, in the Bible, okay, tells the truth about you Edomites, man. Let's get a few more precepts. We're gonna let some more play. I think it's a few more minutes that I want to get into. Okay, you goddamn Edomites are the problem, man. Ever since the Renaissance until now, you know, the spirit, like in the spirit, you know, we can link you Edomites back to the serpent. But even if you just go from the Renaissance until now, man, you Edomites have been a disease in the earth, man. And then what country gonna go to where your oppression doesn't affect the people? Because if you go to a first world country, well, your racism, okay, is in major effect. And then if you go to, all right, one of these poorer countries where they're poor because of your sanctions and because your corporations steal their resources, man. Okay, so what country on the earth could we go to that's not affected by your wickedness, man? Okay, what country on the planet Earth that's not affected by the so-called white man's wickedness, man? Okay, and why do people have to leave to try to escape your wickedness instead of you not being wicked? You see? So this is why, you know, the Lord is going to send you Howard Shah, man, to judge this nigga, man. You Edomites finna be judged, man. Okay? Whom you ignorant call Jesus Christ, man. His name is Yahweh Shai, and he's coming to judge you Edomites, you heathens, and 2/3 of our people that can't shake loose from this nigga, man. You coon ass nigga that won't turn this nigga loose, man. Okay? This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 1. I'm reading NLT. Okay? It says, but now, this is Job 31 in NLT. It said, but now I am mocked by people younger than I, by younger men whose fathers are not worthy to run with my sheepdogs, man. And this is speaking of Esau. You know, and younger means going insignificant, less significant, man. Okay? Because Esau, Edom is inferior, man, by far. Okay? The Lord put us under this nigga for a punishment, man. You see, this how furious the Lord was with us. He put us under this nigga, man. But this nigga is inferior, man. You know, it says a lot of good they are to me, those worn out wretches. They are gaunt with hunger and flee to the deserts. And it says to desolate and gloomy wastelands. And this is when these devils was pushed out into the Caucasus Mountains, man, in their region, Georgia, Russia, all in their region, man. You know, when Western Rome fell, man, you know, Esau, Edom was pushed from amongst men. You know, because he was a vile, filthy nigga, man. Even you go to them Roman Caesars, man, them niggas were degenerates, man. These Caesars that they, you know, Caligula and, Claudius and Nero, okay, Tiberius, man, them niggas was degenerates, man. Okay? Them niggas was filthy, man. When you go into those Roman Caesars, man, and how they lived, man. It was just their time to rule, so they was propped up. Okay? The Lord just had them niggas propped up in rulership, man. But them niggas, man, was some filthy niggas, man. You go into the life of those Roman Caesars, man. Okay? So if the elites of Esau is like that, man, how was the coming Edomite, man? Okay? Job 30:4 says, they pluck wild greens from among the bushes and eat from the roots of broom trees. All right, of broom trees. It says they are driven from human society and people shadow them as if they were thieves, man. Yeah, they was pushed to the outskirts of civilization, man. Okay? And it says what they pluck wild greens, which goes into juniper roots, okay, and mellows, okay, and what was a staple of American society, the marshmallow, the s'mores, camping thing, roasting marshmallows out in the wild, okay, because that's what them devils was on, okay, when they was pushed out on the outskirts of society, man. Okay, and when you seen the Edomite, man, you would shoot that nigga off, man, like a stray cat or a stray animal, man. You would shoo a Edomite off, man. Okay, it says so. Now they live in frightening ravines and caves and among the rocks, man. And this is why you see civilization. All right, the infrastructure. All right, the devil infrastructure mimics caves. These tall buildings, these apartments with these little holes. Okay, these big stone structure, and you live in the hole inside this stone structure, man. This big tall stone structure. These cities, it's like peaks and valleys of a mountain, man. Okay, because that's this nigga's spirit, that's his nature. 80-story buildings, man. That buildings aren't supposed to be that goddamn tall, man. Okay, buildings aren't supposed to be over 3 stories, man. Okay, but this nigga building these big ass, tall ass mountain. Okay, these apartments are nothing but caves, man. You see, it said they sounded like animals howling among the bushes, huddled together beneath the nettles, man. These niggas couldn't even talk, man. These couldn't even form words, man. Okay, and it shows you the power of the Lord to take a nigga in that condition and make him rule the earth, man. And that's another token of the Lord's power. Okay, and it was for us. This was a humbling for us, man. Having Esau over us was a humbling, man. He put us under the worst of the worst, man, with this nigga here, man. It said they are nameless fools, outcast from society, and now they mock with vulgar songs. They taunt me. Okay, so these niggas were nameless fools, outcast from society, man. They didn't have a name, because a man's name was his house. You'd be, it was normal in society that you would carry on the name of your father's house. Okay, these niggas were nameless fools. They didn't have any civilization. They was outcasts, man. Okay, that's why even though these niggas, have come to power, it's chaotic, man. Because these niggas, man, you see, what these devils have done, they learn how to master. All right, organizing the chaos, organizing their wickedness, man. Okay, as the scriptures say, when the serpent more subtle than any, any beast of the field. Okay, the devils, they have master organizing their wickedness and chaos and moving in deception, man. But this nigga always has been the wicked, man. Okay, but the Lord just chose an appointed time to really begin to make inquisition of this devil beginning with the ministry of the prophets, because it was the prophets that started the inquisition on this nigga, man. The investigation on this wicked nigga, man. Okay, Job 30:8 said they are nameless fools, outcasts from society, and now they mock me with vulgar songs. They taunt me, man. Now these niggas are mocking us. Okay, the original degenerate, the original violent man, the original Satanist, the original pedo, everything vile and lewd goes back to this nigga, man. And that's why these things flourish in his kingdom, man. XEX trafficking, man. All right, child XEX trafficking, man. There's a whole system for that in this man's kingdom, man. Okay, child, you see, sacrifices and all this, and now it's at the forefront. Now these things are becoming common knowledge that this is just who this devil is, man. Okay, so let's play some more of this video. Okay, because the problem is with this nigga, man. Okay, this nigga is a dis-ease in the earth, man. And whatever his rulership touches, man, becomes corruptible in death, man. Okay, so let's go back.
Studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you, because you're part of the whole system, you profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. Mm-hmm. Well, so you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
Jay was cutting. And you see the devil, he had that look, he couldn't say a goddamn thing, man. Okay? And these Edomites, when you tell these Edomites the truth, man, they want blood. This nigga is thinking of death. He's thinking of blood. And Jake is telling this nigga the truth, this nigga is thinking of blood, man. Okay? The only thing for Esau is judgment, man. Okay, he's done served his purpose, man. We get it. We appreciate righteousness, man. We can't wait to get, righteous order back, man. We can't wait to get families back, man. We can't wait to get the earth back in order, man. The earth to flourish, man. You see, because this nigga is a problem, man. And you look at this nigga face, man, you can tell this nigga eye closed and this nigga want blood. When you tell Esau about himself, this nigga instantly want blood, man. This nigga is a problem, man. Okay? And Howard Shot coming to stomp this nigga out, man. He's coming hey, to cut the head off the serpent once and for all, man. Okay, let's play this.
I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. Well, so you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge
Christianity
tomorrow.
Only makes you bow down to the so-called white man. Okay, the Christianity that, you know, they gave Jake, all right, from the plantations, you know, you had the slave Bible. Okay, you know, the Bible with everything taking it out. They talk about, okay, liberation. Okay, they talk about redemption for the true Israelites. Okay, so this devil, this Christianity that he gave Jake, just made Jake a perfect plantation. Christianity made Jake a perfect slave for Esau because it destroys his mind. Okay, you look at Esau as superior, you look at yourself as inferior, and you look at your blessings have to come through this nigga. And no matter what he do, this nigga got to be forgiven. Okay, Christians don't know nothing about the Bible, but all of them agree on that the so-called white man should be forgiven. This nigga is superior. Okay, and you're grateful for anything that he does for you. You know, he's the guy that blesses you, the so-called white man. Okay, Jesus Christ is this system of Edomite supremacy, man. Okay, Jesus Christ is the logo of Edomite supremacy. Okay, that's all it's been. That's all it ever be, man. That's why you Israelites, you still teaching the name of some goddamn Jesus Christ, man. You niggas ain't right. For niggas teaching in the name of Jesus Christ, man, still mentioning that name, okay, without mentioning the true name, Yahweh Shai, okay, niggas ain't right, man, that's doing it, man. Okay, the spirit not dealing with niggas like that, man. Okay, so let's play this.
This might be like a hard pill for a lot of y'all to swallow, but America doesn't have a race problem. It has a problem race. See, September has been a crazy month, man, because it's been a lot of, mass shootings, people touching on kids, and a lot of these big outlets don't cover these stories. We all know why. For example, we have this event that happened in York County. A man took the lives of 3 police officers, injured 2 of them, all because he was like stalking his ex. And we see the suspect right here, bro. A man went to jail for this is sick, bro. This some 6-month-old baby, dog. Then we got the Dallas ICE shooting from last week or a few days ago, bro. We see the suspect. Then we got a Charleston judge that got caught with child. You know what? And I mean, it's countless examples. I could go on and on. These people control the media. Don't ever let them think that black people are so violent, they're this and that, when they be out here causing most of the problems, bro. It's just so hypocritical, man. I got that white exhaustion, dog.
To listen to these white people talk about black fatigue makes me really just want to punch them in the face. Like, you want to talk about fatigue? Let's talk about white fatigue. Let's talk about the fact that white people have killed more people on this planet than any other group of people in history. That's a fact. White people have killed more people for no other reason than the fact that the people that they were killing weren't white than any other group of people on this planet. You want to talk about fatigue? Let's talk about white fatigue. Let's talk about the fact that 1% of the population owns half of the wealth in the world, and most of them are white. Well, that's a coincidence. Let's talk about the fact that here in America, white people have ran this fucking place since the 1700s, and they have fucked up everything. Everything. The entire planet's fucking climate is going to shit to the point to where we are going to unalive ourselves as a species because of fucking white people. You want to talk about fatigue? I'm white, and I'm fucking tired of white people.
Facts. You know, nobody has a higher body count. No one has sold more drugs. No one has stole more wealth. You the biggest criminal on the planet Earth, okay, is the so-called white man, the most violent, all right, criminal on the planet Earth, the most anti-Messiah nation on the planet Earth, anti-righteous nation of people are you Edomites, man, you devils, man, okay? But now we're in the time of judgment, man, okay? When you go here, let's get this in Zechariah chapter 5, all right, in verse 1. Let's get a couple more, you know. This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It said, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked and beheld a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length is 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So this is Zechariah being shown the chariot. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the whole face of the earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and everyone that swear shall be cut it off as on that side according to it. So this is speaking about the judgment that's to come to Esau, man. These chariots are going to invade this place. The chariots of heaven led by Yahweh. The heavenly hosts are coming to invade the planet Earth to judge, all right, the earth, beginning with you Edomites, man. Okay? You that steal it and swear, lying. Okay, this man has lied on the Bible. This man has stolen. Okay, this nigga has stolen the earth to everyone's in poverty, man. Okay, he just has all the wealth hoarded up amongst these smaller group of Edomites, and the earth is impoverished. Okay, and this nigga just constantly lie and lie and lie about every goddamn thing, man. Okay, and there's a judgment coming to this nigga, man. These chariots are going to invade the earth and judge Esau, man. Remove this nigga from power, man. And so I will bring it forth, said the Lord Yahweh shall host, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timbers thereof and the stones thereof, man. So these chariots are coming, and they're going to enter into, okay, the earth, because right now the earth is Esau's house, man. The earth has been given into his hand. Okay, so these chariots are going to enter this realm, all right, and come to the earth, man, and get busy with Esau, man. Okay, destroying this man's infrastructure, man, his kingdom. You see, Esau, your days are numbered, man. Okay, and this is why the Lord has you been called out, even amongst your own people, man. Okay, because of course, you know, if there is, you know, let's say black fatigue, but then white fatigue is above black fatigue, because the reason there is black fatigue because of you Edomites. Jake is not like that in their natural state, man. Okay, you know, the Jakes that you know, create black fatigue is the products of you Edomites, man. Jake is gonna be judged, okay, for continuing on, all right, and following after your ass, man. You see, but you're the beginning of the problem, man. Okay, Revelation 11:18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, man. So Yahweh, he's coming to judge the earth, man. These nations, man, because these nations have followed Esau. Okay, but it begins with Esau, man. Okay, but these nations have drunken the wine of this rebellion. You see, you nations have allowed Esau to talk you into rebelling against the Most High. Okay, so there's a judgment that's coming, man. You see, and then there's also a rewarding for what his servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shall it destroy them which destroy the earth. You know, which destroy them which destroy the earth. Okay, you see that? So who's guilty of destroying the earth? You Edomites. You boast about. Okay, see, these devils always want to boast about, you know, the positive and the good things they've done for humanity. But when it comes to their wickedness, Okay, when it comes to who's responsible for the destruction of the earth, well, it's the poor. The poor is a reason for the destruction, the negativity of the earth. Okay, but it's because of them that the earth is so innovative and convenient. Man, get out of here, man. That narrative is played out, nigga. You are the problem, man. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, be a great example towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutation to the hopeful and shalom.